It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football and certainly the loudest as we welcome you to GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Straight ahead, a rematch from Super Bowl 57 as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in Week 2. Oh, and there's a big hit right away as he's knocked down hard on the opening kickoff. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Mayfield. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. And the officials here are going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Mayfield to throw it. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. First carry for DeAndre Swift. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
First down, and they go with Swift again. The 20, 5, And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. DeAndre Swift, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. Extra point try good by Gano. And it's now a 7-0 game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out there, a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
Do you almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Running again with Barkley on second down. Oh, what a juke into space. Inside the 10. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Fulk connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Ooh, with a juke. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. You talk about this Chiefs defense. They're currently 6th in the NFL in defending the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 45-yard line. Moore, the man in motion. Throwing here, Purdy. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Back to the running game with Swift. Dropped at the 35, able to display his agility, but not much room to operate. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two. Once again, it's Swift. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. 79 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Back to throw, Purdy. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. That's Grady Jarrett who forced his way through to register the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They go play action here. Purdy. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Chiefs are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Back near his goal line, here's Mayfield. He's up to the 20. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
What a first quarter he's been putting together. He scored the touchdown earlier, and he's in phase right out of the gate. Right now, he's playing with such confidence, he doesn't believe that they have an answer for him no matter what they do on defense. And here's another big play to prove his point.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. These two teams all tied after 1. The second quarter from KC. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. So the completion good for 7 there. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Mayfield now. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll run for it with Barkley. Wiggles free. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 4th and inches in plus territory. That seemed like a prime spot to go for it.
It certainly did, and there's so many things that go into it. Are you too far away for a field goal, but not far away to punt it? Do you just feel like your offense is better? I just think in today's NFL, offense feels like it has to take care of the football, has to keep the ball, because scoring is up. You better maximize every possession. You trust your offense more than you trust your defense in today's league.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. 89 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. The Chiefs at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1, and they were able to get that road victory in the opener, and now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Throwing, Mayfield. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 12 more yards there and another first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Davis running left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Vita Vea stopped that play in its tracks.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. A quick throw caught out wide by Judy. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Mayfield looks to throw. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Chiefs go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Extra point up and good by Folk. And that makes the score 14-7. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Here's Robinson. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24. And we've got an injured player, and that's Travis Kelce, who appears to be in a bit of discomfort. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Purdy. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. 7 yards there and a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Here's Purdy. Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Once more, Purdy looking to throw. That's complete out left to Ayuk. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here. That's now 4 completions in a row, a good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Purdy now to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Now, their last 2 drives, both ending in touchdowns. It's got them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap, allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
A big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. So still 14 yards to go, second down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. This short pass into the hands of Njoku.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Here is third down and 4. Mayfield off the play fake. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Working with a lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Quick throw, and Mayfield completes it. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Oh, look at the juke. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Mayfield. This will be caught just inside the 10. That'll give them 8 that time, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the 4, this is 2nd down and 1. Running left, it's Barkley. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Folk's kick is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Folk out there now to kick this one off. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
During the week, the special teams coach puts together a game plan that he presents to the head coach. And in every game plan, there's one big play that he points to the head coach and says, listen, when we need it, we can go to it. I think they did exactly that on that one.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this third quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first two quarters, they had two costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, and obviously, Charles, it would be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Open man here is Benson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Purdy. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Now a toss for Swift left side. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 82 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And the Eagles are going to have a first and goal as he's able to take this inside the 10 to the 8.
Look, I realize on any play call, when it's properly executed, it can go for a touchdown. But the runs that really make it work are the ones where you just get what you need, right? And he barely got the first down, but he got it.
Purdy looking to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. It's a foot race. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone, possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Hit and dropped behind the line by Dre Greenlaw.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Mayfield. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a heck of a return as he goes out of bounds across the 50 inside the 45.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Throwing to start the drive, Purdy. He'll drop this one off to Swift. And he'll get about 6 there before he is taken down rather rudely and abruptly. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Shotgun now with Purdy. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Chiefs are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game, but give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Saquon Barkley running right. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To throw, Mayfield. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So they'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Mayfield to throw it. That's going to be caught by Judy. And he will have a Chiefs first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Baker changing the play at the line. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And Barkley did not get there. Well, now hang on here because Saquon Barkley is in some discomfort, so we're going to have a pause here for an injury. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. Made his first, this now from 46 yards away. And the now 40-year-old veteran able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so, and maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Escapes the defender. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A 2nd and 11 from the 19. Back to throw, Purdy. He's got the connection to Moore. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Swift going to try up the middle. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Purdy, big 4th down play. And this is caught. He hits Moore. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing here, Purdy. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Now Purdy. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Purdy will look to throw again here. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Purdy. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Drop for a loss there on a nice effort by Osa Odighizuwa.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Here's a quick throw out to Wilson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Barkley, inside handoff. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 104 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Again, it's Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now a 2nd and 10. A handoff, Barkley running left. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds, right around the 7. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Barkley is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Montgomery. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one, but occasionally the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly, maybe someone tipped it off, but on that play, it had no chance.
Folk's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Room to run at the 50. It's a foot race. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Eagles. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Purdy will throw for it. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And the Chiefs have got it. And with that, they should have a victory as well. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what